Well, in very plain terms, the idea of free will is that the person could act differently. A moral judgment is essentially a judgment about should that person have acted differently. The same with a legal judgment, that should the person have done something else rather than rob the liquor store.
Mm-hmm.
So the judgment that the person should act differently is based on the assumption that the person could act differently. So to my way of thinking, in this, at least in this very simple sense of free will, that is essential to moral responsibility. Now, the argument goes the other way too. Why did we evolve free will? Why we developed that capacity? The ability to act morally is one of the crucial things that makes us human, that enables us to function well. One of the most basic norms is reciprocity. All other cultures do, if you do something to me, I should do it back to you. That's a kind of moral idea. But to control our behavior by it and actually pay someone back for something they've done for us, that requires a sense of moral responsibility, requires that higher mentality. It makes culture work, but it makes it possible. Sense of fairness is another thing that is fairly universal in human cultures. So developing this better sense of moral responsibility was crucial for our developing of culture, and goes with this new way of controlling our behaviors that I think goes by the name free will.
So let's look at these two categories of ideas. The moral responsibility came about because we wanted to have a society for other reasons. We have to live in groups. Free will has to do with the concept of self-control. So how do these two articulate?
Well, moral rules are mostly rules to restrain individual selfishness so you can do what's better for the group. So self-control, very simply, is the ability to change your behavior, to do this instead of that, to override in particular what you might feel like doing in order to do something else. So we call sometimes self-control the moral muscle, but it's also the trait that enables you to resist selfish impulses and do what's morally right.
You talk about a moral muscle that your research has shown to be more than just a cute metaphor, but a serious metaphor. How so?
We find that self-control, like a muscle, it gets tired when you use it a bunch in a day. So the tendency for someone to do something immoral will increase temptation after temptation if there are a bunch in the same day. On the other hand, as you use the muscle over time, it becomes stronger, just like a physical muscle.